You've been sitting on a cruise you almost booked. The next few minutes might save you a lot of money, but only if you act this week. This is What in the World, your daily dose of travel news you can actually use. 10 stories today, one flagged urgent, so let's dive in. Norwegian just cut prices in half for 1 week only. Here's what you need to know before it's gone. Norwegian just rolled out its first ever semi-annual sale, 50% off every single itinerary, and that includes Alaska, the Caribbean, and Europe. It runs through July 20th, and it stacks with their free at sea package. So depending on what you book, you could also walk away with a free open bar, specialty dining, and Wi-Fi thrown in. If Alaska's already on your mind, this next update pairs perfectly with that sale. If you're sailing Alaska on MSC this season, you can now skip the check-in line entirely right from the airport. MSC just rolled out remote check-in at SeaTac International Airport, so Alaska cruise passengers can knock out embarkation before they even reach the ship. If you're using MSC's official airport transfer, you can walk straight through security and onto the boat. No standing around the terminal with your documents in hand. And speaking of big moves, here's one with an even bigger price tag. Beaches just announced a $1 billion expansion in its opening resorts in 3 brand new Caribbean destinations. Beaches Resorts is doubling its footprint over the next 5 years, pouring nearly $1 billion into properties in Barbados, Exuma, and the Bahamas, and Runaway Bay in Jamaica. The first phase already opened back in March. A $100 million oceanfront village at Beaches Turks and Caicos, with over 100 new suites and a 15,000 square foot lagoon pool. And here's a change that touches every one of us, not just cruisers. Your next passport is about to look a lot fancier, and applying for one might finally get easier. Secretary of State Marco Rubio just unveiled a redesigned U.S. passport, and it comes in a fancy presentation box with a certificate of authenticity, plus QR codes on every page that pull up Little American History videos. The part travelers will actually care about, though, is this. Passport photos will eventually be submittable straight from your phone using facial recognition, so no more scrambling for a CVS photo before your trip. Trade the paperwork for something a lot more adventurous. There's a new Caribbean cruise itinerary that stops somewhere no ship has ever docked before. Ponant's new Jewels of the Northern Caribbean itinerary launches in 2028, sailing on an 8-day route from the Dominican Republic through Turks and Caicos to the Bahamas, but the big draw is Monte Cristi in the Dominican Republic. Ponant will be the first cruise line to ever call there, and the itinerary also includes snorkeling, the world's 3rd largest barrier reef, and swimming with the wild pigs at Staniel Key. Back on dry land now, and a coastline a lot closer to home. There's a brand new boutique hotel on the Mendocino coast, and it comes with its own detective-themed library. Trailborn just made its West Coast debut with Hill House at Trailborn Mendocino, a 44-room property overlooking the rugged coastline with hearth lounges, garden spaces, and a Cabot Cove detective library that nods to the town's Murder, She Wrote fame. A second building opens in 2027, bringing the whole resort up to 89 rooms, with kayaking and winery trips built right in. Across the country, there's a hotel opening that's the only one of its kind. There's a brand new hotel opening inside Rockefeller Center, and it's the only one that's ever been there. Aspen Hospitality is launching an entirely new luxury brand called Nell Hotels, and its flagship property sits right inside Rockefeller Center, the first and only hotel that's ever been built there. It's 134 rooms, born out of a $350 million renovation, and it's set to become New York's only Relais and Chateau hotel with arrival on the 7th floor and exclusive access to the city's cultural institutions. Over in Orlando, the nights just got a lot more spectacular. Universal just dropped a brand new nighttime show that's included with your regular park ticket. Universal just debuted Celestial Goodnight at Epic Universe, a nighttime spectacular with 7 million LEDs, 350 dancing fountains, and fireworks set to music, all woven together with themes from Harry Potter, How to Train Your Dragon, and Super Nintendo World. It plays every night at park close, and there's no upcharge. It's included with your regular admission. One more stop in the Caribbean before we wrap. There's a brand new adults-only resort in Barbados. And yes, you can actually earn Marriott points on it. Royalton just launched an entirely new, inclusive brand called Vescence, and its debut property just opened on Barbados' Platinum Coast with 220 adult-only suites, including swim-out categories and butler-served Diamond Club rooms. It's part of a Marriott Bonvoy too, so you can actually earn and redeem points on the whole all-inclusive stay, food, drinks, and amenities included. I'm a Marriott Bonvoy member, and I love those points. But we'll close things out back in the air. If you're flying American soon, there's a good chance you'll notice a completely redesigned cabin. American just put its first freshly retrofitted A320 into service, and the cabin overhaul adds more first-class seats, jumping from 12 to 16, along with nearly double the main cab extra seats for extra legroom. Every seat now gets a power port, plus larger overhead bins and a redesigned first-class cabin with privacy panels. So here's the one thing to actually do today. If you've been eyeing a Norwegian cruise, this is the week to lock it in. 50% off doesn't happen often, and it's gone after July 20th. Even if you're not sure which itinerary, reach out and we'll figure it out together before the sale closes. I'll see you back here on Monday for another round of What in the World.